Joe Vakovic with Standard Grain, our guest today. Joe, as we look at kind of this global wheat market, Russian exports have been up week after week here. What does that tell you about the overall demand here for wheat?
So prices in regard to Russian wheat exports, their export pricing is the highest, I think, since 2013 or 2014, and the U.S. market is pretty much the same thing. So you're into some 7 or 8 year highs in regard to the export market, and just also in regard to flat price. You look at the futures board; it's acting really well. We've had crop issues in a lot of areas. I mean, the United States had crop issues this year. The HRW crop wasn't as good as we thought. We know the spring wheat crop in both the U.S. and Canada was essentially a failure. Russia has had problems of its own. So the wheat situation in regard to supply and demand here in the United States is the tightest it's been in 6, 7, 8 years. Global situation maybe tightest in 5 or 6 years. So the wheat market's acting very well here. We've seen some better export sales for U.S. wheat, but I think we've still got like the second worst program in the last 10 years or so. But that's going to happen when you have higher prices and light crops. So it's in my opinion not necessarily an issue of like really strong demand. It's an issue of just multiple crop issues in some big time areas that are very important.
Joe, as we look at global food prices, those continue to inch higher. How do you think wheat fits into that picture? Usually, when global food prices are up, wheat's a big demand driver.
Wheat's a big deal, and people want to, in this like macroeconomic environment, everyone wants to say that this is inflationary. I don't think this is inflationary. I think that based on the stocks to use ratios, based on the metrics that I follow to gauge supply and demand, I think that the markets are priced similarly now as they would have been, say 7, 8, 9 years ago, given the situation. I don't think that inflation is much of a player in regard to grain prices, to be honest. If we were to see some inflation here, and honestly, we could use it, given the input prices out there, given the big sticker shock that guys are seeing in regard to inputs for next year's crops, we could use some inflation in the grains. I'm just not sure that we have it.
All right, be something to watch. Appreciate it. Joe, thank you for being here. We'll be back with more Ag Day coming up in just a minute.
For more information about Standard Grain and its services, call Joe at 312-462-4438.